Hi there, this is Keith Surtees with Talk 3 in my series of talks for YouTube. We started off discussing certain various spiritual laws. I didn't go deeply into these. You can read about them yourself if you want. You can look at things like the Kabbalion and the Theory of Life. You can buy a book by Deepak Chopra, whatever. I'm really not so interested in giving you another set of spiritual laws and principles. What I am interested in is actually in giving you techniques and ways of thinking which can liberate you so that these spiritual laws actually work in your life. So when we think about spiritual laws, and I'm not necessarily going into one particular idea about this, we think of things like the law of compassion, the law of love, the law of creation, or the law of attraction, or we think of something like the law of duality, polarity, the yin and yang aspects of the Chinese medicine and Chinese philosophy, for example, is a spiritual law of principle. So these laws have been defined by various cultures, various religions in different ways. And this makes it interesting because we can zone in, if you like, onto the type of particular set of spiritual laws, the cultural perspective that suits our way of seeing and our personality. The most important thing, really, I think, is when we are on the pathway that we actually find tools that make me happy, make me want to live, and that teach me very simple things like each breath is a blessing and each breath is a lifetime. We need to feel the pulse awakening us. We need to find techniques which allow us to fully be alive. The important thing, surely, is that we are walking towards a particular destination which we understand. But the important thing also to add to that is that each step, each breath, each life experience, I talked in talk 2 about the school of life. And this is a spiritual law in itself that we choose through the law of karma to come back if the law is true, and I personally have a belief that it is. We choose to come back in a particular lifetime. We choose also the body, i.e. the sexuality, male, female, so that we experience certain things within the male and female consciousness and biology and everything which connects to that particular sexual role in society at the time. So we are being male, female for many lifetimes, and this is why it is very important that we understand this polarity, not as two opposite things, but as two sides of a coin, or like the wonderful yin and yang sign of the black and white fish-like thing, but as a ball or globe that both work together. There is no separation, separated down the middle. And you've got yin and you've got yang, no connection, basically end of life. The yin and yang is also very closely tied to the hermetic principle of the law of polarity and how polarity creates the darkness, the light, the day, the night, the pain, the lack of pain or joy. All these things are experiences between the two extremes of yin and yang. It's the whole of life, the many, many shades and colorations which make life worth living. Of course, we have the law of one, the spiritual law of one. And I would like to, in this third talk, to really discuss this law of one or oneness, because there seems to be a lot of mixed up and confused ideas as to what oneness is. You see, when people think of oneness, it's one thing, everything is one thing. Basically, oneness means that everything is interconnected, comes out at the deep level of one thing, or one no thing. But that besides this one thing, to create life, to create the beauty of life, In fact, to create the forms of life, we need the 1,001 things. I.e., I'm not a dog, although some people might think so. And neither am I a monkey, although I've been accused of that also. You see, a monkey, a dog, a cat, a tree, and the different types of personality, different races, cultures, etc., are extremely different. Their life patterns, their history, the cultural ideas within, for example, different nations, the difference in the different type of personalities, extrovert, introvert, etc. All these are the rich coloration of life. It is one thing, or oneness, but if everything was totally oneness, nothing would exist. There would be no life as we know it. There would be no physical forms, there would be no houses, there would be no cities, cars, there would be no linear progress through time. So you see, the law of oneness basically means that at the very source all is one. It does not, however, say at the level of separation or individuation, which is making something individual, that we are not separate, that we don't have grades, graduations, levels of consciousness, different perspectives, because this is the beauty. So there's a danger, especially with again, I must say, the New Age interpretation of oneness, to actually throw away the beauty of creativity itself. You know, let's just take a simple thing. I love to play guitar, and I could play guitar with 6 guitar players, and that would sound beautiful. But I would suggest that if I play guitar with a drummer, a banjo player, a pianist, what else? Let's throw some tambourine player, etc. We will produce a most wonderful and interesting piece of music. And this piece of music will have more depth than just guitar playing. So the qualities of, for example, creativity depend on this differentiation, depend on coloration, graduation of different shades. And it's the same with food, is it not? I mean, if I give you rice, you came to my house and I give you white rice every day and for 4 meals a day, you would probably think I was rather strange. And then if you question me, I say, well, it's all one. Just eat your rice. Why do you want vegetables? You want some chocolate? Why? You know, eat the rice. It's just one thing. You don't have to worry about differentiation. It's always one. Now, you see, with that explanation, you begin to understand that oneness is the source. And yes, we must understand the connectivity and the interconnections between all things and all people. But this does not mean that we throw away the difference. We throw away the wonderful diversities of intelligence, of creativity, of form, which make up the human family, and not only that, but Mother Earth. Mother Earth, the great creator of life, didn't create one type of tree, one animal. She created us, the human being, but she created everything else. Differentiation from one planet. Now, if you meditate on that principle, oneness, and the many, many differentiations of creativity itself, you enter another level of understanding, and you will not be confused with the ideas of oneness and the ideas of separateness or differentiation. And you'll understand that many things can still be one thing. That does not mean, this is confusing with some people, that because you have an idea, I must think that idea, or we're not in harmony and we are not one. I can accept people have different views from me, and I can still feel the oneness with them. They can have a totally opposite opinion from me, as most of my family do, for example, about my spirituality. And yet I still love them and still one with them. In fact, I don't even expect them to feel anything like me. Okay, so we've looked at polarity, we've looked at a few more spiritual laws, and we've looked at ways of thinking about this that can help you not to get lost, not to get confused, and can also bring joy, because you see, you don't have to, due to the law of oneness, think or believe anything anyone else believes. You can look at it, but you can still have your individuality, your own pathway, your own way of going forward. Okay, this is my third talk. I hope you've enjoyed it. Call back later. I'll be posting more on my YouTube channel. And enjoy doing this one. See you at some point in the future. Take care of yourself. Bye now.